So podcasts, what would be your go-to? Would it be true crime, comedy like myself? Well, a funeral director from Richmond has started one called Over My Dead Poddy, which are weekly conversations to help bust myths about funerals and start conversations about the deaths of loved ones. Now, presenters Carl Tate and Nichola Reader join me in the studio this morning. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Now, at first you go, a podcast about funerals. This is unusual. But actually, I think it's a great idea, this. Tell us where the idea come from.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Well, in the years that I've been working in this job, so often when I meet families, they just seem really scared, really anxious about meeting me and thinking there's some template that they have to stick to design a funeral. But funerals are changing so much. We wanted to get the message over that actually the choice is yours. You're in control. We can do whatever you want to do. So I wanted to start the podcast, but didn't really want to do it on my own, hence approaching Carl.
Yeah, and exactly. And when Nichola approached me, I thought, what a great idea, because, again, as we say, it's all about choice and letting families know what's available, what they can do, what they can't do. And it's also just about dispelling the myths, because a lot of people have so many different questions, because the subject of funerals it's not really spoken about very much, is it? Until you live it, you know, that's it. You don't really want to know about it. So,
yeah, you don't really know anything, do you?
No,
until sadly it happens. So what kind of things, like each episode, I mean, are we talking like burials? Are we talking cremations? Are we talking whether you can have ordinary music or whether you have to sing hymns? Like what goes on?
Yeah, so we're looking to do 10 episodes for the first series, of course, and then it's all funeral related in sort of episodes. So, you know, are we looking at burials and cremations? What it all entails? What happens at a cremation? What happens at a burial? Constructing a service. You know, how do we put a service together? Obviously, that's Nicola's department. You know.
Yeah, I'm an independent celebrant, so I'm the person standing at the front delivering the service. But everything that goes into that service is all about what the family wants. So when you say, what music can we play? My answer would be absolutely anything. Highway to Hell, Ring of Fire, we've played them all.
Really?
Absolutely. Going underground, we do it all. So it's really just about busting those myths that says this is what's appropriate, this is what we have to do, and letting families know that they absolutely have choice.
What kind of reaction have you had to all of this?
It's been brilliant, yes. I mean, obviously, we say to the listeners, you know, send us in some questions. What have you got? Let's have them and we can answer them. And it's been fantastic.
And I think people are really, really scared about this whole topic. It is the taboo. It's the thing we all have in common, but nobody ever mentions. And then at a time when your loved one dies, you're left with all of these decisions thinking, where on earth do I start now? So it's brilliant that we're inspiring families just to say, let's just have the conversation. It doesn't mean anything bad's going to happen. It just means when the time comes, we know what you want. So it's been really inspiring to hear people say, I just feel more comfortable having that difficult conversation.
If anyone's sat at home now having the cuppa and they've got the cornflakes on the go and they think, oh, I can't go there, my head can't go there. When you're saying about myths, I mean, this is why people should listen. I mean, I know you mentioned the music thing there, but what other myths is there?
So the biggest one that we usually get asked is about cremations. Is it really my mum's or dad's ashes that we get back?
Yes, because how do you know?
Of course it is. Of course, the industry
Is.
It's so tightly regulated, you know, and there would be absolute, you know, there'd be hell on if we just said, oh yeah, scoop up some ashes at the end and hand it to you. That's not how it works. So it's just about going through questions like that. How do you get into the industry was a question we get asked. A lot of people, you know, it's one of them subjects and topics think, actually, how do you get into it? I wouldn't mind doing it. So, you know, we talk about options and how to get into the funeral industry.
Because there's a lot of different jobs involved as well, isn't there? Yeah.
There's makeup artists in the funeral industry, hairstylists, those kind of things. And embalmers, do we embalm in the UK? Not always, but people seem to either assume we do or we don't. So it's all of those questions around, I just don't know what happens and I just want to feel really safe that my loved one's been looked after properly and respectfully. And that's one of the myths we bust as well, how privileged we feel to look after your loved one right until the point of the funeral. It's such an honour. And that's what we want to get across to people. I
think, and also is when we do one episode, we then sort of think, oh, there's another episode, and it throws up so many different conversations. It's fantastic.
So this could go on and on and on, couldn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about, and I think when people first feel like this must be a really sad podcast, we have so much fun. We are laughing at each other, definitely, and the things that we get wrong, because neither of us are perfect. But it's not a sad podcast. It's not a really dreary, sorrowful. We have fun and we try and keep it human and light so people can just feel like, yeah, I want to talk to them. I want to pick up the phone to these guys.
Fantastic. Where do we find you then?
We are on all major podcast platforms, so Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Podbean, wherever you would normally go for your podcast, you will find us there. But if you follow us on socials, on Insta and Facebook at Over My Dead Poddy, you can find all the links there too.
Fantastic. So have you had 2 episodes out so far?
2, and there's an episode goes out tomorrow about how you start to put a ceremony together. And next Wednesday at 11, we're talking direct cremations, which is a big topic in the industry at the moment.
Right. Is this where it could be anywhere in the country? Is that
That's the one,
yeah. There's a lot of questions get asked about that, isn't there? Yeah, definitely. That's it sounds brilliant. It really does. I'm gonna, in between my comedy, I'm gonna listen to this as well. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming in. That's been brilliant. That's Carl Tate, Nichola Reader, Over My Dead Poddy. Go and find it and give it a go. And listen, if you've got any questions, I'm sure people can get in touch. How did they do that?
So
Sorry, carry on, Nicola.
we've got an email address, overmydeadpoddy@gmail.com, or via the socials, drop us a DM. We would love your questions to answer.
Get them sent in, definitely.